Coming to you from Aerospark Windhoek, this is Prime Time News. Many thanks for joining me for the Tuesday edition. I'm Michael Madimba. Leading the bulletin tonight, the Bank of Namibia has announced that it will vigorously defend its supervisory actions to ensure that the financial system remains sound and stable in the country. Maggie Thomas compiled our lead report.
This follows an approach by Trustco Group Holdings to the High Court of Namibia to seek recourse against the Bank of Namibia's decision to deny Trustco Group Holdings $1 billion Namibian investment into the Namibia banking industry. The Bank of Namibia's Director of Strategic Communication and International Relations, Kadambire Mburuka, in a media statement on Tuesday said the central bank has taken note of the legal action launched by Trustco Holdings. Mburuka explained, the financial systems remain stable and sound due to the effective regulatory and supervisory framework in place, which fosters a world-class financial system. Trustco Group Managing Director Quentin van Rooyen said in the aftermath of 2 years of correspondence and threats between Trustco Bank Namibia, Trustco Group Holdings, and the Bank of Namibia to enable Trustco Bank Namibia to enter into full commercial banking operation after Trustco Group Holdings offered to capitalize on Trustco Bank Namibia's balance sheet by a further $1 billion, the central bank still denied the application. In a statement on Monday, Van Rooyen said Trustco Bank Namibia and Trustco Group Holdings unfortunately had no choice but to file a notice of motion to review several directives and decisions issued by the Bank of Namibia against Trustco Bank Namibia.
Our next story emanates from Rundu Kavango East, where the police arrested a 47-year-old man on Saturday after the Mercedes-Benz truck he was driving collided head-on with a Toyota pickup, killing his driver. Sawi Hausiku, our correspondent in that region, filed the story.
The Namibian Police Force Crime Investigations Coordinator in the Kavango East region, Deputy Commissioner Bonifacius Kanyetu, told Nampa on Monday that the incident happened on the Trans-Caprivi Highway at around 2015. Kanyetu said it is alleged that the driver of the Mercedes-Benz truck was driving from the east to western direction when he collided head-on with a deceased car, and he failed to ascertain the nature and extent of injuries sustained after the accident. He was thus arrested for reckless and negligent driving, driving a vehicle on a public road without a license, and failing to render assistance to an injured person. The injured passengers in both vehicles received treatment at the Rundu State Hospital.
We'll switch attention to neighboring South Africa, where former President Jacob Zuma was facing corruption charges and served a short stint in jail, says he's ready for a political comeback with the ruling party. Linia Dishena brings us more.
In a statement late Monday, Zuma, 80, said he has been asked by the members of the African National Congress, ANC, which has ruled South Africa since the end of apartheid, to put himself forward as the party gears up to elect a new leadership. He said he will not refuse such a call should they deem it necessary to serve the organization again. Adding he has been consulting with the party leaders in spite of the difficulties caused by his current legal situation. The move comes amid heavy infighting within the ANC ahead of a national elective conference in December. The party is to hold internal polls to pick a new leader who will then become the candidate for the next presidential election in 2024. Current President Cyril Ramaphosa is hoping to secure a second term but faces a challenge from a faction loyal to Zuma, a decisive figure whose name resonates with graft for most South Africans but remains a hero to many grassroots ANC members. Zuma said he supports his ex-wife Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, who replaced Ramaphosa, and hinted he will be prepared to serve as a party chairman, another key role.
Staying on the continent, a military prosecutor in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo on Monday requested the death penalty for 11 people for allegedly being implicated in the murder of 2 Chinese mine workers this year. More from this report.
On 17th March, a convoy of Chinese nationals returning from a gold mine came under attack in the village of Nderemi in Ituri province. 2 Chinese workers were killed. According to an indictment seen by AFP, a military tribunal launched proceedings against 12 people, including 11 army members in July, on charges of murder and criminal conspiracy. 2 of the soldiers who have been charged are are currently on the run. During a hearing on Monday, military prosecutor Colonel Kumbi Nguma requested the death penalty for 11 of the suspects, who include 2 army colonels. Ngoma requested 12 months in prison for Eric Izwe, another soldier who was allegedly involved. In practice, the death penalty in the Democratic Republic of Congo is commuted to life imprisonment. Court President Colonel Dienga Akelele said the next hearing in the case is scheduled for Wednesday.
When we return, World Trade Organization chief paints gloomy economic outlook. Welcome to the Primetime Biz Slot, where business and economics top the agenda. And leading the segment tonight, the World Trade Organization's chief earlier today surmised the world is heading towards a global recession due to multiple colliding crises and called for policies to revive growth. Lydia Pituri breaks the gist of the story.
The World Trade Organization chief today said she believes the world is heading towards a global recession due to multiple colliding crises, and called for radical policies to revive growth. The World Trade Organization Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala said Russia's war in Ukraine, the climate crisis, food prices, and energy shocks, plus the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic, were creating the conditions for a world recession. She told the opening of the Global Trade Body's annual public forum in Geneva that now they have to weather what looks like an oncoming recession, adding she thinks a global recession is what they are edging into. But at the same time, they have to start thinking of the recovery, stressing they have to restore growth. Okonjo-Iweala noted the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund had both downgraded global growth forecast, while indicators on trade numbers were not looking too good.
Moving on, the British pound rebounded earlier today after sinking to a record low against the dollar on concerns a UK government tax cut plan could derail public finances. More from this report.
Sterling jumped 1.34% to $1.0832. On Monday, it struck an all-time low at $1.0350, perilously close to parity. After the plunge, the Bank of England said it was closely paying attention to financial markets, adding it would not hesitate to change interest rates by as much as needed to curb inflation. The Bank of England, like central banks around the world, has hiked interest rates a number of times this year in a bid to cool decades-high inflation. With the pound showing record weakness, analysts are forecasting a big rate increase when the Bank of England next meet for a regular policy meeting on the 3rd of November.
That's all the top news we had for you this evening. Stay tuned for the economics roundup followed by the weather forecast. to Sport Planet, the segment that brings you sporting action within and beyond Namibia. Football leads the segment. Gareth Southgate hopes England will feel the benefit of being put under intense pressure in recent days at the World Cup after fighting back from 2-0 down to salvage a 3-0 draw against Germany on Monday. The Three Lions had already been relegated from the top tier of the Nations League and will head to Qatar on a 6-game winless run. The knives were being sharpened for Southgate after his faith in Harry Maguire backfired for 2 German goals early in the second half. Now, centre-back Maguire has been publicly backed by the England boss despite being dropped at club level by Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag. On to the high-octane world of Formula One. With tickets selling fast in party suites costing up to $70,000 a night, Singapore is putting the pedal to the metal when it hosts Asia's first Formula One race this weekend since the pandemic. Tens of thousands of fans are expected to converge for the Singapore Grand Prix from Friday to Sunday as the night race rolls back after a 2-year absence because of COVID. Adding to the party atmosphere, Red Bull's Max Verstappen could retain his world title on the floodlit street circuit around the Marina Bay district. Stand by for your sports roundup. This is where the Primetime News plane lands. Much appreciated for making a date with us. Do join us on the morrow as we bring you contextualized local, continental, as well as global content. From myself, Michael Madimba, and the entire cast and crew, it's good night.